Have you ever imagined what it's like to start from zero in a world where pain is constant and fear is your daily companion? Imagine being there, in the center of the arena, with your heart pounding, the ground shaking beneath your feet, and a gigantic bull ready to test you every second. You've never ridden a bull, never faced a real rodeo, but now this is your challenge. And what if I told you that for many cowboys, this begins in the field, from absolute ignorance until the moment they finally find their place in the rodeo? This is the path of many rodeo beginners, a difficult, painful path, but also full of overcoming and passion. I remember it like it was yesterday. When I started, rodeo was as distant a world to me as the moon. I grew up on a small farm in rural Texas. We didn't have much, but one thing was certain. The love for animals was in our blood. My family wasn't into rodeo, but the countryside taught us to be strong, resilient, and to have courage, especially courage. But the idea of facing a bull was never part of my plans, until the moment I heard a conversation about rodeo while helping my father take care of the cattle. Sound of distant laughter from a group of friends around a campfire. They were talking about how cowboys face the unknown, how everything in rodeo requires more than technique, it requires heart. That conversation was what drew me to this world. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but something inside me said I had to try. Soon I started training. It wasn't like I had a mentor or a great structure behind me. It was just me and the countryside. The first steps were disastrous. I remember the first time I got on a horse. He almost threw me off before I could adjust myself, and if the horse was already difficult, imagine a bull. Sound of a horse neighing and leather creaking. But even so, there was something about rodeo that kept me connected. Maybe it was the idea of testing my own limits, or maybe it was the desire to prove to myself that I could survive this brutal world. The first months were a constant struggle. Every fall, every mistake was a lesson, but what surprised me was the number of people willing to help. Rodeo, despite being a solitary sport, has a united community. It's a space where cowboys of all types help each other, share experiences and even laughter. And when I finally got to the arena for the first time, my heart was in my mouth. The smell of the dirt, the sound of boots hitting the ground, the vibration of the crowd, and that energy that seemed to swallow you whole. At that moment, it didn't matter if I had trained or not. The arena, with all its grandeur and danger, challenged me to go beyond. Sound of applause and a bull snorting in the arena. The first time a bull tested me was surreal. I was completely lost, not knowing what to do. I only knew that if I didn't adjust quickly, I was going to fall hard. And of course I fell, but with each mistake, something in me grew more. Fear was replaced by determination. Did you know that rodeo has more than 150 years of history? It started with the cowboys of the American West, and to this day, the tradition lives on. But contrary to what many think, rodeos aren't just about brute force. They test the mind and soul of whoever is there. With each movement of the bull, the cowboy not only needs to be in tune with the animal, but also with what's happening in his own mind. The fear, it never disappears. The doubt, it's always by your side. But that's what drives you to continue. And when you finally manage to stay on top of the bull for 8 seconds, something inside you changes. As I got used to rodeo, I began to realize that it didn't matter how many times I fell. What really mattered was how many times I got up. There's nothing more powerful than that feeling of resilience, that certainty that a cowboy's heart never stops beating, even after the worst fall. And after many rides, I began to feel part of it. The fear, which before seemed to paralyze me, was now a force I knew how to control. That's when I began to realize that rodeo isn't just a physical sport. It moves your spirit, your essence, and teaches you to be stronger than you ever imagined. Curiously, in some competitions, what separates champions from others isn't strength, but passion. Cowgirls and cowboys, no matter how skilled they are, need to have something more. It's that unbreakable will to not give up. This love for rodeo is what keeps them standing even when the body says enough, and that's what keeps me firm. Looking back, I see everything I went through, all the falls, all the victories, and every moment of doubt. But one thing is certain. It doesn't matter where you start. Rodeo will shape you, will teach you that difficulties are just stages to make you stronger, more determined. And now, as I speak to you with the arena behind me, it's not just the cowboy that's at stake. It's everything you have inside you. Rodeo teaches us to never give up, to always move forward, even when the path seems impossible. And the question is, do you have enough courage to follow your own journey in rodeo? To this day, if you felt inspired by the journey of a beginner cowboy in rodeo, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Here, you'll find more exciting stories, real challenges, and accounts of overcoming that show the true spirit of rodeo. Don't miss any video. Click the subscribe button, activate notifications, and share this video with your friends so they can also get to know the real and human side of rodeo. And if you've already faced your own challenge, leave a comment down below telling your story. Let's learn, grow, and support each other together. Image of the subscribe button appearing on screen. See you in the next ride.